High net worth families now are racing against the clock to shield their wealth before the estate tax increases. This came out in Yahoo Finance, and I thought you'd be interested in something like this because you could see some dramatic changes in the estate tax in the next 2 years. Now, the wealthiest people in the U.S. could see major tax hikes after next year, sending high net worth clients to financial planning offices around the country to try to get around them with their money managers. And now I'm going to be going over some stuff with you. This pertains to the U.S., but I think you're going to see a lot of changes with it's growing this way, where a lot of countries now are trying to come out with new wealth taxes, new estate taxes, maybe even taxing based on citizenship, like the U.S. has got. Other countries have talked about this, so you need to plan ahead of time on this. And in 2 years, the estate tax exemption, which was generously increased under the Trump administration, could be halved. That's a result of the possible unsettling of many of the individual tax provisions of the 2017 Tax Cut Jobs Act, which is called the TCJA, which are currently scheduled to expire at the end of 2025. Now, the federal estate tax is a tax of up to 40% on property transferred from a deceased person to their heirs. It applies only to very wealthy estates. Currently, only those valued at least $13.6 million need to worry about it, and they pay tax on the portion of the estate's value over that exemption level. That's less than 0.1% of returns that are filed each year. So this is a small number. We have a lot of people that look at our videos that are in this category. Now, if the TCJA provisions sunset, it's possible that Congress could step in and extend it for some wealthy families in the U.S. They could see a significant tax hike. Says Nita Valles, which is a trust counsel and managing director of a company that does this type of work. And the exemption level will fall to around $7 million and double that for couples. This is in 2026. Now, this is the number one issue that's looming large in people's minds. It takes some thought to implement, whatever it is that you're going to do on this, because a lot has to do with who's going to get elected. And even if they get elected, are they going to, go in your direction or against your direction? You really won't know. This is why you need to be planning now, so if something happens, you'll know ahead of time what you're going to be doing. Now, in the U.S., there's no shortage of moves high net worth individuals and families can make to dodge taxes. Now, gifting is one of the biggest avenues. Anyone can gift up to $18,000 per year tax-free to anyone else without counting against your lifetime gift exclusion, and married couples can gift double that. Now, that can significantly lower a wealthy person's taxable estate. If a married couple gifts the maximum to 3 children and 6 grandchildren this year, for example, that's $324,000 that comes out of their estate tax-free. Now, estate tax-free. Now, you will have a cost basis that whoever you're giving that money to, that's on another story. We'll talk about that later. But so this is not going to eliminate, it can lower your taxes, but it won't necessarily lower your taxes for your whole family to who you're gifting it to. Now, that same couple would still be able to gift an additional $27.22 million gift tax-free under the lifetime gift tax exemption. The gifting, you can afford it, is a net positive, says Vias. If you can afford to give $14 million to your children and you live another 30 years, the entire appreciation on that $14 million is also out of your estate. Now, they can also set up what's called an irrevocable trust for dependents and decedents, as well as real estate trust to get their estate tax bills down. Now, that said, there's some things that you have to think about, because most clients actually are not making the move yet, because they're waiting to see whether or not the tax cuts will actually expire. It's difficult for many to give up control of their assets because of a theoretical, tax hike, even if the children are benefiting. Once an irrevocable trust is established, for example, the assets are removed from the person's estate and they no longer own them. So many high net worth individuals are taking their time on this, and they're not just jumping in this. And I think the thing is, a lot of people are on this kind of wait and see what happens the last 90 days of 2025, everyone will want to seriously consider starting to do whatever is going to need to be done to solve the issue, either stay put or to do something pretty quick. Now, the 2024 election looms large. Whether or not the tax cuts will be extended largely comes down to who wins the presidential election later this year. Now, financial planners are talking about, President Joe Biden has proposed keeping the tax cuts for those earning less than $400,000 per year and supporting, higher taxes on wealthy households as well as businesses, whereas Republicans generally support making the cuts permanent. Now, that's what gives most people the cause. Will Congress act? Will tax legislation be at the top of their agendas next year? No one wants to give up control of their millions only for worries to turn out to be non-issues. Now, progressive groups say that Biden's plan is more equitable under the TCJA. The top 0.1% of households would receive an average tax cut of $175,710 in 2026, compared with $990 for middle-income households, according to the Center for American Progress. Conservative groups argue that tax cuts benefit most Americans and spur economic growth. Of course, tax hikes are not popular, whether they're the result of legislation enacted by a different president or not. It's not clear what Congress will do in 2025, regardless of who wins the election. The key is, I think, is to get educated on this, so when something happens, you already know what you're going to do. If you want to know more on this, folks, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com. If you want to legally get around high income taxes and how to get income taxes to zero and how to get a second passport as quick as 4 to 8 months. And also, I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, just put it below. And if you want new videos like this, just hit the subscribe button on the right of your screen right here, and you get new videos automatically as they come out. And I look forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care.